Happy Monday. Sorry I didn't come on the weekend, but I figured, at least on the weekend, take a break. And want you guys to get sick of me every day. But, so today's technically day 4. And it was an interesting weekend. Well, my daughter came to see me. That was awesome. I was happy. I get to see her and my son-in-law. She spent the night. It's beautiful. And got to spend some great time with my hubby. So that was awesome too. My bruh, which was awesome. So I was in good spirits, definitely. Definitely staying focused, staying positive as much as possible. On the other hand, on the other note, Saturday I went for my cardio sonogram. And, I won't get the results of that just yet. Of course, they make you wait. But my doctor did call me after I got in, after I spoke to you guys on Friday, actually, and tell me that a couple of my levels were up. So he gave me another medicine to take twice daily. He tried to keep the levels down. I guess it's just a very aggressive cancer. And it's just very active, as he put it. I have a lot of mixed feelings about that, too. To know that this thing is so active inside of me. It's the different little pains and stuff that, I had questioned. Like the numbness in my face here from the TIN a little over a month ago. He's worried about that because potentially if it's in my nerve system, it could more likely be stage 3 instead of stage 2. The tingliness goes from being numb to being lightly tingled to being like when your legs asleep and you try to stand up and it's like pins and needles so hard it hurts, like that, and then it will spread up this way. And it's like, well, am I in my head about these symptoms? Am I feeling it more because I'm paying further attention to my body that I wasn't paying before, which I should have been paying attention more before? But then, nobody really would sit there and be like, I've got this weird ache and pain. Maybe I've got cancer. Like, no. No. So then when he called me and said that some of my levels were up, I was like, okay, so maybe that explains, the excess pains that I'm having. And maybe it's not just, because I thought for a minute, like, is it all in my head? Is it because I'm paying too much attention to it? Like, why am I feeling this all of a sudden? But no, apparently some of my levels are up. So that explained that. The pain is also moving just straight from my lower back to coming up now behind my shoulder blade. And it kind of feels like something sticking in my rib, but that could also be, just the swelling. I told you about, my spleen is twice its size, and then there's this huge mass, so it's some pancaking going on in there too, But a lot of the times it's like from here and down, there's just pain. And it's not in my arm, per se. It just kind of passes through the shoulder part and keeps going. Like it skips this little from like the bottom of my shoulder to like the bottom of my, the bottom of my rib cage over here. And then it's just pain again all the way down. It's really hard to sleep. If you guys have any tips for sleeping, that would really help. I've been putting like a cold pack here, and that helps a bit. I have, the ones you pop and shake, and I have the heat ones too. So it's like I've got heat down here and cold up here, and a friend of mine said something about acupuncture pillows. I don't know. Any tips on that? Any advice? Has anybody used it? I don't want to just, grab some acupuncture and then accidentally mess something up. I don't want to make it worse. I don't need that. So, I've also heard a lot of mixed things about cold caps. Because I've heard that they help save your hair follicles. But I've also heard that they could incidentally retain microscopic cells and get them stuck up there. And I thought about using one, but at the same time, if this numbness here is related to the cancer and it's actually in my, affecting some of my nerves, then I don't think it would be a good idea to. Because if they're already up here, then I'm not about to freeze nothing up here. But any tips or suggestions on that experiences would be helpful too. I'm trying to gain as much personal knowledge as I can, and a lot of the times word of mouth experience speaks the best advice. Books can say a million things. I love books. I read the thickest ones. I love them, all types. But personal experience advice from that would be really helpful from you guys. If anybody's got, I'd appreciate it. So tips on a cold cap and tips for sleeping, or if you've heard about acupuncture pillows, try them, use them. What's the deal with that? I don't know. Pain level has been fluctuating. Absolutely worse at night and in the morning. It's I told you it's hard to sleep, and I don't know if it's just the lay down position, or I have to get into like this weird scrunched up side half sit lay thing position to fall asleep. And I gotta be like in this sit half lay thing with my leg out straight so that I'm stretching out my abdomen as much as possible to give it as much breathing room as I can. And sometimes it's like, well, gee, I hope I'm not just giving it more room to grow. Seriously though, like, should I be stretching it out? But it's the only way I can get to sleep. Pain level at night and in the morning, I would say, is maybe a solid 7. Sometimes 8. Last night, I was somewhere between an 8 and 9. It was excruciating. But my hubby helped me through it. He held me and pet my head and held the hot pack on me and tried to rub it softly. And I was eventually able to fall asleep. There's moments where it's just like, it's still so, like, wow, I feel all of this happening inside of me, and it's still like, wow, that's the cause. And, you get those moments of, what if, 'cause it's so active, it's just like, well, what if it's too active, and what if they can't, fix it? Like, these are real questions that we ask ourselves. Questions that are sometimes hard to really say out loud. What if I can't beat it? How do you ask that question out loud? All you can do is fight. And I'm resolved to fight hard. Yeah, I've tried just sitting alone and processing it, saying it out loud to myself. Saying, I have cancer. And this is a dangerous thing. And if I don't fight my hardest, well, this is going to be the hardest opponent I've ever had. I know that. I fought people big and tall, short and small, and I fought through situations. And this is by far my largest opponent. But you know, you can't what if yourself, because that'll take you into realms deeper than you want to be. You know, you can't what if any situation, as a matter of fact, not even just this, not even just, you know, with cancer, with literally anything in life. You cannot what if yourself to death, because you can what if and end up in a circle of what ifs, because what ifs is infinite, could be anything. It's not what if that really matters. What matters is what is right now. And what I know right now is I have a damn good fighting chance. And that's what I'm going with. And no matter what, I just need to always refocus myself there and tell myself, I can do this, I'm strong. And the pain is bad, but I can take it. It's not unbearable. You know, there are moments where the pain is so high, it feels unbearable. Like, you just kind of want to run out of your own skin for a minute. Like, let me just take this off for a second, you know, just detach my body for a moment. And but of course you can't do that, you know, get up and pace around, and you can kick your legs. But it, you know, at the end of it all, you really just have to take deep breaths and relax. And you know, my hubby was coaching me last night because I was in so much pain, and he's like, just breathe. And so I laid there very still and consciously made my body relax. I took deep breaths and tightened my fingers and tightened my feet, and then released them. Tighten my whole body and then just release it so that I know I'm relaxing. And you know what? It helped the spasming. It did. It helped the spasming simmer down just a little bit. And that little bit was enough. Just enough. I fell asleep in pain, but I wasn't spasming. The spasms are bad. But I was able to fall out, and I slept okay. I mean, I got up ridiculously early. I tossed and turned a little bit before I got up, but other than that, I was able to mostly sleep like for like a good 5 hours. So that was pretty amazing. I unfortunately woke up on the wrong side. I was sleeping too good apparently, and woke up like, ow. But it's almost time for me to take my meds for the morning. So got my coffee, I'm gonna take my meds and try to relax. Deep breaths, one moment at a time. I don't know what today will hold. I know that this week is the appointments coming up, the PET and the bone marrow biopsy. I don't know if I'll be getting any other calls from Doc before then, but you know, you'll hear about it if I do. On a final note, it's as hard as it is to feel all this, and as hard as it is to have all of these emotions, you know, the people around us are also having these emotions. In the same way we touch each other's lives in good, we touch each other's lives when we're back to, like when we're down to. And I know that this is touching a lot of people's lives all over the world that are fighting this cancer. But stay strong for them and for you. And smile as often as you can. And every day, tell yourself 3 things that you love about yourself. And tell yourself that you can do this. I've been doing it every morning and every night. It helps. And stay positive, you guys. Feel free to like and subscribe. And please, if you have any tips for sleeping, or about the cold cap, or those acupuncture pillows, please feel free to share your advice with me. Any advice that you have. If you got any for this tingling, that helped too. But thanks for being with my journey on me, with me. Thanks for being with me on my journey. Sweet jeez, I need to have coffee before I do these things. Until tomorrow, you guys have a good day, and love life.